Today's tutorial presents the Approach Angles game found on the Brought to You by Ship portal at www.gameforscience.com/brought-to-you-by-ship. The game can be accessed directly on the home page, bottom left. Let's take a look. Students will learn to use the virtual protractor to guide ships into port. Offering 3 levels of difficulty, the game introduces concepts and skills linked to angles. Let's start with the easy level. Berthing, or putting out to sea, that is, docking in a port or leaving it, are complex maneuvers, and ships often use tugboats to help. This is what we see here on either side of the ship. In this interactive activity, your students have to tell the tugboats the angles needed for them to be able to pivot the ship without endangering other vessels or port facilities. This first level requires students to simply indicate the type of angle involved to help them understand the different categories of angles. They simply click on the protractor and place it where they want to measure the angle. Since the angle required for the ship to take the predefined course must be conveyed to the tugboats, the protractor is always placed with its baseline in the same direction as the ship. Here we have an acute angle, so we send the information to the tugboats, which carry out the maneuver. The game contextualizes learning by introducing students to the shipping sector, just like all of the resources available on the Brought to You by Ship portal. Now we're ready to measure the second angle using the same technique. Let's place the protractor, 90 degrees. We use the slider to indicate that this is a right angle and send the information to the tugboats. To complete the frame or stage, the students must measure 4 angles. Perfect! The first stage is completed, but players are not finished yet. The game continues with the next stage in the easy level. Each level has 3 stages. Note, it's always interesting to replay a level after successfully completing it. Each frame is randomly generated for an infinite number of different exercises, thereby allowing learning to be consolidated. Once all of the frames or stages have been completed, players can move to the next level, medium. This time they are asked to indicate the angle's exact measure instead of its type. And if the player makes an error, the ship moves in the wrong direction and the player has to begin the maneuver over again. Once this level has been completed, players can move on the hard level. In this level, the course is no longer visible, and players must pivot the protractor themselves and place it correctly to measure the angle of rotation. To successfully complete this level, students must have integrated all of the concepts required to use the protractor properly, and must apply them properly to avoid unfortunate accidents. Available on Game for Science and accessible directly at www.gameforscience.com/brought-to-you-by-ship, this extraordinary resource was developed in collaboration with SODES, the Saint-Laurent Economic Development Council. For further information, see the Brought to You by Ship portal's Teacher section. Here, you can ask for the Teacher's Guide, which enables you to take advantage of the portal's different resources to gamify the teaching of various subjects: mathematics, science and technology, and geography, history and citizenship education. For other tutorials, news, and relevant information to enrich your teaching, follow us by reading the Game for Science blog and Facebook page.